Pope Gregory IV hated cats, so much in fact that he declared a war on them which would eventually wipe out half of Europe. It all started with Conrad of Marburg, the German papal inquisitor at the time, and a man who through his interactions with the satanic cults in Germany had come to believe cats were agents of Satan. His evidence? Batshit crazy confessions. That's right, this all started because of confessions who claimed a giant fucking toad the size of a dog hopped up to them at the same time as a pale man of mysterious origin appeared from seemingly nowhere. Confessions who claimed the pale man then asked the confessor to kiss him, which for some reason would cause them to forget all about God and the church. Confessions taken from confessors who, when asked further about this by Conrad, said, and I quote, "Well, we would all go to this black mass, where a statue of a large cat came alive as you or I. We would all kiss the cat and then, in the darkness, had fun. When it was all over, candles were lit and a man emerged. His upper body was blinding like the sun, an unnatural light you see. His lower body was completely covered in cat's fur. A blessing was read, and then the meeting was over." Of course, what I had previously withheld to mention is that these confessions were taken under torture, but that massive detail was most likely omitted when giving the details of the confessions to the Pope as proof that cats were agents of Satan. Why cats and not toads? Who fucking knows, honestly. Guy just hated cats. And now, so did Pope Gregory, who by the advice of Conrad wholeheartedly believes cats carry around Satan's spirit within them. And on June 13th, 1233, Pope Gregory IV would issue a papal bull called Vox in Rama that linked cats to Satanism and witchcraft. The extremely bloodthirsty populace of the roaring 1230s then took it upon themselves to capture, torture, and slaughter black cats especially en masse as a perceived way to banish evil and break spells. This occurred so much in fact that annual cat-killing festivals in Belgium called Kakenstad began to take place, where cats were thrown from church balconies and subsequently set alight in the streets. A festival which still takes place to this day, albeit with stuffed cats instead, which in my opinion is a significant downgrade. Meanwhile, in France, cats were rounded up and burned in cages above a fire or simply set alight in the streets. God knows how you even pull that off without a modern-day Zippo lighter. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed by it. Apparently in some places, designated cat chasers called kurimads would drench a cat in flammable liquid, light it on fire, and then chase it through the town, while the townspeople collected the embers and charred cat bits for good luck. Oh yeah, and they killed women too. For some indiscernible reason, the people of Europe somehow managed to come to the conclusion that a papal bull declaring cats soldiers of Satan suddenly meant a ton of women were now witches as well. Unfortunately, no festivals celebrating this aspect of the war are still ongoing, but it did create a new full-time job of witch hunter, so when you really look at it, old Pope Gregory here did successfully found an entire industry. In a very deserved stroke of karma for basically all of Europe, however, the cats they burned, threw off balconies, and accused of witchcraft would finally come back to haunt them, becoming a direct cause for the death of half of Europe, as 100 years later, with a now significantly reduced feline population, rats carrying the fleas who carried the bubonic fucking plague ran rampant and unleashed the Black Death upon Europe. Meaning that in a repeat of the emus, when the humans and cats went to war, the cats became the victors.